guys, it's Kat. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the pros and the cons of using henna to color your hair. I did it myself in December of 2020 and I'll insert some pictures, and if you want to go watch the video of me dyeing it and seeing the results, I will link that below. So first of all, if you don't know what henna is actually just some ground up leaves from a plant that can be used to make art on your body, or as I'm going to talk about, it can be used to color your hair. So as I said, I dyed mine with henna for the first time in December of 2020, and let's just go ahead and start with the cons of my experience. So the first thing that I did find a bit difficult is that if you're by yourself, it is very difficult to apply. Now that is sometimes also the case with other hair dyes. Obviously it's a lot easier to have a hairdresser do it or a friend do it because you can't see the back of your head. But when it comes to henna is very, very thick. So when you're trying to put it in your hair, it's really, really hard to like section it, because once you put the henna in, it just becomes like a big clump, and it's like very, very difficult to like use a comb to try to separate. Like that was not happening with me. As you'll see if you watch my video, it was very difficult. I would definitely recommend having a friend help you with that process, because I ended up doing my entire head, waiting like 3 hours, washing it out, and I had missed like 2 or 3 tiny spots on my head, which meant I had to reapply it to those few places and leave it for another 3 hours just for those little areas. Whereas with actual hair dye, it is a lot easier to see what you've already dyed. It's a lot thinner, so it is a little easier if you're going to apply it yourself. Henna is just a bit more difficult, and like I said, I would definitely recommend having someone help you if that is what you're trying to do. Now the second thing I noticed about henna, and this might not be a con to you, but for me, I do really like my natural wave pattern. It's kind of hard to see right now because I have it pulled up in like a half updo, but I do really like my natural wave pattern, and I found that the henna, what it does is it like binds to your strand and it weighs it down a bit, and so it straightened my hair out a little bit. It made it a lot less wavy. So if you want your hair straighter, it might be a good thing for you, but for me, I was kind of like, dang it, like now I really want my hair to grow back in so I can get my waves back. The third con would definitely be the upkeep. So if you decide you want to do henna, you're either going to have to continue to do it, because like any dye, it's going to be a different shade than the rest of your hair, which honestly mine blends pretty nicely. I think you can barely see it anymore. That's about where it ends right there. You can see it. But yeah, you definitely, if you choose to do henna, it's such a vibrant color that it's gonna stay red for a while. Like obviously it's faded a whole lot now, but that's also because it's over a year later. So it's gonna be really red for a while. And if you decide 4 months after you do it, I don't wanna do it again, which is what I decided, you're gonna have roots, and you might have darker hair than me or lighter hair than me. So it might be a very obvious difference. But yeah, you're gonna have like your roots here and then like very red hair down here, which obviously that can happen, like I said, with dye as well, but it's just something to keep in mind. Lastly, and this is the one that really made up my mind about how I felt about the whole experience, is for me, I have very fine strands. I've talked about it a lot in a lot of other videos, but I have very, very fine hair. Like the strands themselves are very easy to snap, and the whole henna process, as gentle as I was, it ended up causing me to shed a lot of hair. Like it was fine after I did it, but over the next few weeks, I think just because of all of this and the weight of it all and everything and rinsing it out, like trying to get it all out, I ended up shedding and losing a lot of hair. And it happened over a period of weeks, maybe even months, that I was still losing hair from the process. So for a lot of people that is not the case, but I have very weak individual strands, and it was just very, very harsh on my hair personally. So that is everything I have written down for the cons. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the pros so that you can hear the good side of henna. So first of all, I was shocked at how bright it came out. Like, I was expecting it to be, you know, they say it gets darker every time you do it. So I was like, well, maybe it'll be like kind of like a little bit red, but like a brownish red, like an auburn. No, it came out like fire. And part of that is because I do have naturally pretty light hair, but I've seen a lot of people with very, very dark hair use henna as well. And their hair is beautiful. It comes out like burgundy. So henna is very strong, and it is very, very vibrant. Like I said, the more you use it, they say the darker red you'll get. And if I had continued to use it, I think I would have liked that because I prefer a darker red actually, and it came out really bright, but I did like it just because I was shocked that it came out so like red the first time, which is obviously what I was going for, because when you use henna, you're trying to get red hair. The second pro is that it is technically not supposed to be damaging. Like I said, it definitely was mechanical damage on my hair, but it is actually sort of like a treatment. Some people use it literally. They use the clear or whatever it is, the henna that doesn't color your hair, as an actual like mask or treatment or whatever on their hair. So henna is supposed to almost strengthen your hair in a way, because like I said, it binds to your hair. It makes your strands a tad bit thicker, and I guess in turn that can make them stronger because it's now a bigger strand. That just wasn't necessarily the case for me because it made me lose hair. So it's kind of like, even if my hair strands are now a bit thicker, I lost it. So, you know, I kind of made up for what I would have gained in what I lost. But it is much less damaging than actually going and getting your hair bleached or getting your hair dyed at a salon or with box color, and that is definitely true. It is not nearly as drying, and it doesn't have the chemicals in your hair that strip your hair of its natural oils and things like that. Now another pro, and I did sort of mention this a minute ago, but it can be applied to pretty much any color of hair. If you have white blonde hair and you put henna on it, it's going to come out like possibly Ronald McDonald red, so be prepared for that. If you have very, very dark, close to black hair, it will give it a red tint. And if you have any kind of shade in between, like I said, it's going to give you a variety of vibrant shades. Like mine came out, like I said, like fire almost, a little darker than mine, would probably be more of a burgundy, but still very red. So that is one amazing thing about it, is that it takes better than a box dye does. Like if you were to go get a red box dye and put it on my hair right now, it would probably come out with more like a brownish red. But with henna, it's just, I don't know what it is about henna, but it is strong and it dyes everything. And yeah, it's pretty intense. So if that's what you're going for, that is definitely a pro, and you can guarantee you that it's going to change the color of your hair. All right, so that is everything I had written down. As you may have noticed, I did have more cons on this list than pros, and I'm not anti-henna. I don't hate henna, and I don't necessarily wish I hadn't done it, because I learned, and I do know now if I do it in the future, I do need to expect mechanical damage on my hair. It was a really good experience. I got to dye my hair without actually going to a salon and putting chemicals on it. However, at this time, I've decided not to continue with henna just because I don't want to lose any more hair than I've already lost, especially with the shedding that I had in the summer from other things. So it's not something I'll be doing anytime soon. However, I have thought about in the future when my hair starts turning gray, it is a good option. Not only that, but you can also put different powders into henna and you can use it and make your hair darker. Not red necessarily, you can make it like black. So there are more options, and when my hair gets gray, I don't know if I like it. So I might want to do something. I don't know if I'm going to want to go to traditional dyes and bleaching, just because I know what that does to my hair. I did it for years and it makes my hair very, very frizzy. It breaks and everything. So it is a really good option for that. If I do hate my hair gray, which you never know, it might be all right, but it's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, I thought it was beautiful when it came out. I really love the color. If it weren't for the mechanical damage, I would probably do it again, honestly, because I really, really love red hair. Like I had my hair red all through high school, but not from henna. I had it dyed actually in a salon. So yeah, it would have been an amazing alternative if it had worked exactly how I wanted it to. But like I said, it is a possibility in the future. So that is it, guys. That is my experience with henna. Let me know if you've tried it and if your experience was different, because a lot of people do it and they absolutely love it. They don't experience shedding from it like I did, but I'm just being honest with you guys. That is what happened with my hair, and it was very clear from progression photos that I lost a lot of hair after I did it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for my next video. Bye, guys.